What is up, game changers and soul warriors? I sound like I have a cold today, so you're going to have to forgive me. I did a major healing on myself last night because I needed to. Um, and so whenever you actually cleanse your pineal gland or do things like that, it affects your sinuses. So take that into consideration, right? Like, are you awakening and you're having sinus problems? That could be why. So it sounds like I have a major cold. I do not. Um, but I was going through a lot. Let me explain to you who I am, first of all. But before I get into everything, I'm going to encourage you guys to like and subscribe to this channel because I am really calling forth more people to understand what the ascension is and what they need to do to make it through this, because not everybody is going to make it through the ascension. Okay, and that's not about fear mongering. It's the truth. It's a rite of passage. So welcome to my channel. Please like and subscribe and share it out to as many people as we can, because I am the one who brought about the ascension. Okay, some people are finally starting to process that. They're watching the videos because it's all been recorded and witnessed, and it's processed through me during my awakening. Like, it's very real. And it includes 111. It includes clearing Mount Shasta, activating pyramids, freeing Jesus' soul, uniting with my beautiful divine masculine, the one I have now. The original died. Like, it's been a battle, okay? We battled fallen angels. I cleared the collective and the individual shadow. My DM and I united Jesus and Mary Magdalene, which was all part of the return of Christ, okay? I also cleared the Holy Grail. Like, this stuff is very real. And it's all been recorded and witnessed. It's for you on this channel, available for you to watch. You just got to check out my Ascension playlist. That's where you'll find the majority of the videos, okay? There's a lot on here, but they're all relevant. And you can heal in some of them. So watch them. The first pyramids that I activated were all feminine, and we are currently activating masculine pyramids now. So today I have something very important to talk about, all right? During Christmas time, there was some things that happened, right? And there's constantly an attack on my DM and I because of who we are, right? That if you don't think El Diablo is pissed off because of the work that I did, you're wrong. He's angry. And you can even hear that in Revelations. I think it is like, I don't know, 12. It's all talked about, right? Just be careful which Bible you look at, because not every Bible is real. Some are very much so manipulated, okay? But God has a message for us today, because I was going through some stuff. And I asked God, I'm like, why did I get to this place where I just want to die? Because recently I wanted to give up my journey. I was like, I don't care anymore. God kept saying, be your best. I'm like, why? Why should I anymore? And I was like, why did I get there? You know, how did I get there? I got attacked by somebody who was in my alchemy academy. It just, negative energies will find their way in when they can, right? And that's kind of part of the message today. Because I specifically, what I've learned on my twin flame journey is that in order to unite with your twin flame, you have to heal. You have to heal what doesn't align, all right? You have to heal nuances, because it's not a third dimensional relationship. It's more of a higher frequency. You usually unite on the other side because you don't deal with all of the karmic stuff on this side. So in order to unite with my twin flame, I had to clear all karma back to Adam and Eve. Talk about a lot of karma to clear. And I did. And I found out what happened to Adam and Eve, because that's who I am. But what happened was, it wasn't just Eve eating the apple from the tree. I think that was a horrible story that they told you also, that you would blame the feminine. Yeah, actually, I'm hearing that's true. So don't believe everything that you hear. The fallen angels came down. They shifted the poles. That's why it flooded. Okay, it wasn't God's hand going, oh, you guys are doomed. But they did get basically Adam to play against Eve in that lifetime. Okay, it was the false goddess, which is part of what I've removed. And that was part of clearing the shadow, collective and individual. And I survived it all, you guys. I made it through. And we should be celebrating the return of Christ right now. But in truth, 90% of the people don't even watch the video or don't believe it's true. Okay? And so I asked God, I'm like, what happened to me? I was gung-ho about my journey. It didn't matter what other people thought of me. Other people's opinions didn't stop me from day one, because I know they're limited in scope, right? They don't take the time to get to know you, or to ask questions about you, or to find out why you're doing what you're doing, do they? No, they just go into judgment, right? And it hurts. And then, like, I got a new DM, and he was supposed to be my hero, and he still will be my hero. He has been my hero. But after Christmas time, I kind of went into a place where I just didn't care anymore. And then I became attacked, right? And I asked God, I was literally like, okay, I want to heal this. I want to fix this. I need to, because if my DM and I don't unite, we're in trouble. Okay, I don't know if we'll be okay through the ascension, because something big is coming. If you guys don't think the solar flash is real, something big is coming. Okay, and that's exactly what Spirit told me, is something big is coming and I must be prepared. Which is why they were telling me, hey, there's going to be consequences if you don't snap out of this. And so I was like, okay, God called me forward and the DM forward. Now, whenever God calls me forward, till recently, I usually jump. Okay, and so I was like, all right, God, it doesn't matter what anybody else says. I know I have a very close relationship with God. And everybody's going to say, well, so do I. Yes, okay. I'm a direct descendant, okay? So I feel very close with God. And I don't usually go against him, no matter what anybody says around me. But recently I was like, what do I care for? I don't care anymore. I just didn't care. And so I asked God, what can I do to fix this? Because that's what we do, is like, why did I do this? What caused me to do this? Why do I do these things? That's how we usually heal to unite with our twin flames, okay? And so this is what he said. He said I was hurting. I felt judged, unrecognized, and unloved. And that is absolutely the case. Not only by my DM, but by everybody else around me. I was hurting bad. I felt judged big time. What does judgment do? Right? I warn people to not judge because it's not of God. I felt unrecognized. I still do to this day. And should it matter? Well, and my journey almost killed me. You know, I think my point in that is that people need to realize what the ascension is. I see all kinds of people being glorified for who they are, and all they do is read into energies. And yet I tell people I'm the one that activated these pyramids, and most people are like, I don't know what they think. Judgment, right? Unrecognized and unloved. And so I decided, you know what? If I can't, I need to heal this. And so I started healing myself. And that's not easy to do all the time. We do sometimes need each other. So I started healing myself big time yesterday. I even had my kids get involved, and I'm like, you guys grab my chakra bowls, grab my drum. Like, we are going on a huge heal. So I healed myself for a good 2 hours straight. And I'm very thankful I did, because today I feel so much better. Because, you know, I let myself get off track because I was hurting. I felt judged, and I was unrecognized and unloved by others around me. And that's harsh when you have a true prophet or a true person that has done these things, and people just flock to others that are not even really true. But it's been the way of the land. Okay. And so that is what it is. But I did it for God. Absolutely. And for my DM, because I don't want anything to happen to him, and I would never want to hurt him ever, ever, ever. And in that time frame, I also had a download of a DM that really confused the shit out of me. Because God told me my DM is younger than me. He told me my DM would look like my other DM when he died. And so, you know, anything outside of that, I question. And getting a download of a false DM and things, it was not cool. It's not kosher for me or the other person or even my DM. And so I'm like, why is this why did I let this happen? Because I'm strong. I'm stronger than that. And I know I am, okay? But I was giving up. I was literally giving up on my journey. And that is why. It's because I felt judged, unrecognized, and unloved. And regardless, I have to keep going, right? That's what I've always done. I've never been loved before. So what's the difference now? I mean, in truth. So then I asked God today what he wanted me to talk about with everybody, because this is important, okay? Who I am is important. If I'm out of balance, it affects the balance of the whole entire collective soul. Same with my DM. He and I need to work together to be in balance together. Okay, and so part of my healing last night, Jesus and Mary Magdalene stepped in and put blue light on me and pink light on my DM, because I feel like we're both out of balance, respectively, the other way. And that's very important for everybody. Okay. Right now, there's so many outside energies trying to muck up the flow. This is in particular for a reason. So we are invoking El Diablo. Every time I do this work, I cleared the Holy Grail. I cleared the collective and individual shadow, which is all related to El Diablo. Okay, that's what Spirit calls it. Call it a fallen angel, call it the devil, call it whatever you want to call it. Okay, it's all the same. So is your shadow, so is your ego. It's all a part of that. Okay, and there's two energies at play right now, and I've talked about that. So when we started doing the masculine pyramids, I told you your past lives no longer matter anymore. Everything from the past is being erased, and it's like a clean slate going forward. This is the great reset. It's Judgment Day, and everything is based on your heart-centered actions, right? So just because we do something out of sight of free will doesn't necessarily mean it matches our heart space. But if we go too far and really indulge in those darknesses and allow them in and things like that, then we're in trouble. And that's what happened to my original DM. Okay, he grew a black hole in his heart. He made too many decisions against the light. Okay, and he ended up not being able to stay regardless, honestly. I thought it was just his choice, but Spirit told me I would understand more, and I do. He just went too far into the dark. I don't think he would have been able to make it out of that very well. He could have. We could have done a lot of healings on him, but it just at that point he wasn't strong enough. Okay, and that's how darkness works. That's why it's been doing this since the beginning of time. That's the fallen angels who thought they could have all the power of God. Okay, and that's why John the Apostle in recently God wanted me to talk about Revelations 19:10. John the Apostle is the one who murdered Jesus. He poisoned him. There was no freaking cross involved in Jesus's life or death or in any other way except for a false depiction. There's a reason why they do that cross thing. And recently I've been clearing out a lot of the darkness, and they wear crosses, but they're upside down. So that is why they depicted Jesus dying on a cross. He was not crucified. He was murdered by John the Apostle. In Revelations 19:10, they talk about John. Okay, it was Jesus telling John basically, like, don't worship anything but God. Right? Don't worship the angels. They're just angels. They're not God. God is the only one that you should worship. Okay, if anything at all. And honestly, I'm going to go ahead and throw a wrench in all of your pockets and say, if you want to worship God, 12:22, go into self-love. That's how you worship God. Whoa, right? Whoa. It's not necessarily like we have to constantly just praise God and do these things outwardly. It's more inwardly, okay? But they talked about John, I just broke my pen, focusing on, praising the angels, and then he ended up killing Jesus because he fell prey to the fallen angels, right? So what you worship matters. What you pay attention to matters, all right? Having power right now and strength matters, because as we've been activating this pyramids, I've been doing something else, and I don't talk about it a lot because can create fear, right? Which there's no fear to be had. Fear is not of God, because your destiny depends on you. Do you understand? So what I do is I go into the portal of time and I speed it up. Every time I'm speeding it up and speeding it up. I literally do that with my finger. And it's true. And so there's two energies right now that I talked about. These are very important, you guys, okay? Because have you noticed on the outside, there's very quick movements happening. Like there's very fast energy. There's this need to like go, 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 go. There is, if you're outside of yourself. But once you go within, it's a slower energy. Okay, there's two contrasting issues right now. And that's why De La Roca called it the two worlds. We are living in two worlds until the end. What that means is I have completely separated the darkness from the light, and either your light will come on or it will go off. And I've talked about that several times over. If you're doing the healing, if you're focusing inward, your light's going to come on more and more and more and more. If you're not, it's going to go off. Okay. It's just, that's Judgment Day. All right. It's up to you. This is what I talk about. And this is what God's message is. Okay. God literally said this morning to me to tell you guys the absolute importance of focusing inward for truth. Okay. God is requesting self-growth and deeper questioning and understanding. And that's what I had to do on my journey. I had to go inward. My guides told me everything that went against everybody around me. Like everybody around me went against what my guides were telling me. Everybody, from people who could do psychic readings to so many things. So almost everybody. This person up here did a painting for me prior to the work that I did. She did a reading for me. And that was the painting. And it on the top of it, you can't see it, but there's the triangle with the third eye. And then this is Mount Shasta. We didn't know what all this was though. Over here you have Saturn, right? And so there wasn't everybody trying to go against me. But for a majority of the things is everything that my guides told me, other people said it was false. Okay? And so it's very easy right now to be swayed in the energies because there's two contrasting energies on your planet right now. And one will not stay. Time has sped up. They are very limited in time. In Revelations, I think 12 talks about this. I caught a glimpse of that the other day. I'm not biblical. I've never read the Bible. God shows me what's true in the Bible and what's not true in the Bible. Okay, things like judgment, things like division, crucifixions, all these kinds of things. None of that happened. They go to church and they do communion and you're poisoning yourself. Okay, that was part of the Holy Grail, which was not a good thing. It was written in Jesus's blood. It was not a cup. They used the cup to gather his blood. Okay, and then they wrote a contract, John the Apostle did, in Jesus's blood to keep all of you in the darkness, to take over. And that's what they did, and that's what we undid. And so who I am, bringing about the ascension, is I'm taking it back. I have moved the poles. I cleared Mount Shasta. I sat on Saturn and we rose Atlantis. I freed Jesus' soul. He became a flower in the Garden of Eden. I returned the twin flames together. Through my DM and Jesus and Mary Magdalene, our souls have united and combined. If you think for 1 second these things are not real, take a look around you at how many people can read that the world is ending, that this is the apocalypse. Even people I would never expect to read it are reading it, right? Like Rob Deerdeck from Ridiculousness. I love that show. Even he was like, "Oh, how are you doing in the apocalypse?" he's like, "I thought this would be going a lot quicker than it is. How's it going?" And he's like, "What do you guys think's going to happen in the apocalypse?" And Chanel was like, "I don't know. Maybe a tornado in Las Vegas." And he's like, "Ooh, that would be cool." Like, people all over the world are seeing it. Okay, the ones that are not, stay away from. If they can't see what's happening, there's a reason. Because either your light will come on or it will go off. Okay? And I can look across the board at people that would not normally talk about this kind of stuff, and they're seeing it. I can look across the board at religious people on YouTube doing posts of God said lots of people will die. I saw that the other day. This one lady said, God said lots of people are going to die. That was the first thing I told my DM when I originally met him. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, but a lot of people are going to die. And he's like, what? Like, he thought I was crazy at first, but he didn't. He really didn't. He was waking up. And it was freaking him out. It was freaking me out. Like, that's the truth. Like, he and I are not normal. And to have Christ light all of a sudden flush down you and you go into this meditation and your twin souls unite, like, that's enough to make you go, ugh! Like, what is happening to me? So these are unprecedented moments, and God is requesting self-growth and deeper questioning and understanding. Like I did. Okay, God, why did I go into this space? Why am I hurting my DM? Why am I hurting myself? Why did I give up? And he literally told me. It was very easy. He's like, Bree, you were hurting. You felt judged, unrecognized, and unloved. And that is what people do, unfortunately. Okay? 99% of the people don't watch my videos. I will literally tell you, hey, I cleared Mount Shasta. Do you want to watch it? I have the video. It's not me talking about it. It's a workshop where I go through and I clear it. Hey, I took us into 7D. There's 2 videos for that one. One is where I activated a new chakra system. And then the next one, I took us through a black hole and put us into Pleiades galaxy. And I really did. But people aren't going to believe that. They're not going to watch the video. Very few do. Okay, everybody looks for that instant gratification. Everybody looks for that instant something rather than taking the time to explore. And that is what is going to be hard for people to navigate through right now, because there's 2 contrasting energies. One is to distract the shit out of you. And God is requesting self-growth. So that means be stronger than you have before. Do things that you didn't do before for you. Okay? Because if you don't go inward, if we can't go inward and we can't feel our bodies, I've talked about this. If you're on medications, lots of anxiety, things like this, it's because you're outside of your body. I can guarantee you this. I come from my psychology background, therapy background, worked on the crisis line. I'm very well aware of, I was diagnosed with PTSD and true OCD. Okay. OCD is not what people think it is. Okay. It's not just because you don't like something crooked. Like OCD takes over. Okay, it really, really does. You get stuck on things, and it's like you can't get out. And if you don't do these things, then it's trouble. Like I used to have to turn around and check my doorknob like 12 times sometimes. Like, is it locked? Is it locked? Is it locked? And when I started working on that, I accidentally left my door open one day, and the whole day was a panic. Like, it's no joke. I couldn't work well. Like, it was really bad. So that's OCD, okay? Before I had kids, like my closet, like had to be a certain. If my shoes touched, I would get sick. Like it was bad. I'm not like that anymore because I healed it. So I understand what it means to be outside of our body, and then I understand what it means to go inward and heal yourself. Okay, can we always fully heal ourselves? It depends. We do need help from others, and I've called on help many times before, but it's hard, right? Like it's really hard for me. So I finally went in last night and I even invoked my kids. I'm like, we got to heal this. I was not feeling well. And I had to heal that pain. Okay. So when you ask, like, why do I do these things? Then you got to heal it. That's what I did to save my DM soul the first go round. Took me a year of going, okay, why do I do this? Why do I do that? What are the masks that I wear? Why do I do that? And I would heal it and I would heal it and I would heal it. And I spent a year doing that. And he spent the year waking up and responding, but he was still not strong enough to get away from the fallen angel. It's very sad. And so I had gotten a fallen angel card yesterday, and I went into a panic, and I'm like, oh God, like, no, no, is that not going to happen again to my DM or me? Like, I would be mortified. And so I took my power back. And that's what I spent all night doing, taking my power back, healing the wounds that, yeah, people bring out. Okay? So it's okay if people don't see me. It's okay if I'm not loved and I'm judged. I can't force people to see me or to appreciate that I'm not normal and I'm not like all of you. And my journey almost killed me more than once. But 2212, that is the ascension. Okay? This is why God is requesting self-growth. It's an absolute important right now. It's absolutely important to focus inward for truth because everything outward will go against that. I guarantee you. Because let's just say El Diablo's pissed off. Okay? They know they're on a limited time. And so they're trying to cause mass destruction. That's not a joke. They're trying to take anything they can with them. That's not a joke. It is a war of your soul. Okay? And people talk about this, right? De La Roca talks about this. That's why he amazes me because he does tune into what I do. Like I will do something and then after he will do a video about it. And I'm like, dude, he is so connected. Okay, so I do reference him a lot. Landria Unca, I think is her name. She's another one. There is a few that absolutely see the work that I do. They at least see it in the collective energy. Okay. And he talks all the time about this is the apocalypse, right? This is Revelations. He talks all the time about this stuff. That not everybody is going to make it. It's a rite of passage. Okay. And it's not about fear mongering. People will be like, oh, they're trying to spread fear. No. The fear that I would be paying attention to is those that can't see it. Okay. That to me is a little scary. Like hearing Phil Good talk about, oh, I accept that I'm half dark and half light. That to me is scary. There's a chance he may heal that and recognize otherwise. But in the meantime, I don't follow that guy. So it's a big deal. Okay, and so God is literally requesting people take their power, be in strength, do things you've never done before because doctors aren't going to save you. Not when most of them don't even see what's happening themselves right now. Okay, a lot of people can't see through the veil of darkness. They can't. Not when you're outside of your body, especially. The ones that can see it are the ones that sit in stillness. They go into their heart space. They've cleared their energy. They don't play into those things and they don't let others outside sway them. And then they take the time to go deeper and heal themselves. 24/22. Why do I do these things? And they step outside of their comfort zones in doing them. What makes you successful from those that are not? They're willing to do what others are not. And that's the rite of passage, basically. Are you willing to stand in strength and go against others around you if necessary? Most people, unfortunately, are not. They don't want to be judged because it hurts. And let me tell you, I'm alone as hell. I'm very alone. My family is around, but like I'm alone. Okay. Um, so if I can do it, anybody can do it. And I've also raised 3 kids in the meantime by myself and through trauma. Been trying to heal my kids through abuse. We were abused severely. So there's many times I should have made it through my journey. There's many times where I should have been like, man, fuck it. What do I care? Many, many, many times. Many times where I was like, oh, I don't know what's happening to me, but nobody else around me understands it. I'm just going to turn this off and not listen to whatever is happening because I'm crazy. I could have gone into that. Oh, I must be crazy. I must be schizo. I even did evaluation on myself because what do people say? If you see things that others can't see, right? But it's different. Even my son was like, oh, seeing angels now, that must be a coping mechanism. I'm like, yeah, maybe it is. Because I watched my dad die a slow and painful death. And people thought I killed him. Okay, it was because he had a DNR. It was horrible. It was horrible to watch him go through that. It was horrible. I didn't like to be the only one there. It was horrible. And that is what sparked my awakening. Okay, and that's why my son was like, well, you must be coping. I'm like, yeah, maybe I am. Seeing angels is not normal. All of a sudden, I was a therapist. I was in psychology. I was in behavioral. I worked with severe behavioral at the time. And then my awakening changed my life, okay? And now I cannot do that anymore. I have to be heart-centered because that is the only way I can connect with my DM. I had to heal everything from my past. I had to come out of karmic. I had to be powerful. I have to feel beautiful, and which I always used to, right? But when I swelled up from my DM dying, it was hard to feel beautiful. So that's hard. So I have to be stronger than I've ever been before every time. And I can't go into the energies of this is hell, this is torture, this is never going to happen, I've almost died, the DM doesn't care. Those energies are there. Okay? And I can choose to play into them. Or I can choose to choose love, which is what I did the first time around. Okay? And I will do it again and again and again. I choose love. I choose my DM. I choose that over anything that's happening outside of me. Okay? I choose God, even if others say I'm crazy. I choose going inward. I choose taking my power back. Making sure that I can feel my body, because that's what medications do. That's what all of it does. And we have given so much power away to the medical field. I had a 4.0 in med school. I understand more than you guys think I do. I'm well aware of the kind of power that doctors encompass, okay? But even the right doctor will tell you that it's an art form. They half the time are making guesses, okay? They become quite educated. They become well aware. And the more patients that they deal with, the better they can get about it. But it's still a guessing game a lot of times, okay? And there's some placebo effects involved and things like that. And then they're all paid for medications. And medications just make you sicker. They do. I promise you this. I don't want to hear, well, mine cured me and mine cured this and that. Fine. Okay, I'm not going to argue that with you. All I can tell you is every healing that I do, I have to clear the medication basis first before I can actually heal your vessel. One of the first healings that I did, because after I awokened, I was doing healings I'd never done before, and they're medical based. A friend from high school found me out of the blue, and he's like, hey, can you do a healing on my dad? I was like, sure. And I would do them remotely. I can travel to them, so I didn't have to see him or anything, so I did it on my own time, and I would take on their symptoms and things like that. And he had Parkinson's, and he was completely medication based. And I went in and I said, with the medications, it's going to be really hard to see the work that I did. People aren't patient enough for my healing to take hold. Okay? I've seen this before. Everybody expects instant gratification, instant relief. They don't want to feel pain. They don't want to feel all these things. Yet, we need to. Okay? When I broke my arm, I couldn't even get surgery. I had to feel every bit of the pain. Otherwise, my DM was in big trouble. And so was I. And so sometimes it's necessary to feel the pain in order to have the gain. Sometimes it's necessary to feel the pain to heal, because every sickness we have relates to our emotional encompass. It's all chakra related, we're all energy based, and we're not even technically supposed to get sick. As we raise in vibration, your immune system is quite strong. Okay, there's a reason for that. So I want you to consider that. Consider everything as a way to keep you outside of yourself. Okay. I'm not going to sit here and say, don't go to a doctor. Do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm just telling you
my perspective of it, what I've cleared in the collective whole. And I can tell you that even the medical profession has to take some severe changes because not everything they do is of the light. Okay. I've also known that if we can't take control of our own health, we could be in trouble. So let's just say the whole matrix does collapse and we don't have those medications anymore. What are you going to do? Because once you start taking insulin, you really can't stop. But guess what? There's foods that actually help you produce insulin. There's ways to heal it. I've done healings on people. I've so many crazy healings you could even imagine. From curing cancer to removing polyps to heart disease to removing tumors. I've done many, many, many things. Okay. There is always other ways. But we are so caught up in the outward energies and the ingrained teachings that they just fill you with and have spent years doing so to keep you outside of yourself. And I'm getting chills all the way up my leg as I'm saying this. So God is asking for everybody to be stronger. God is requesting, and it's your choice. Just because God asks you to do something doesn't mean you have to do it. But I would. This is an ascension. This is the apocalypse. This is Revelations. This is Judgment Day. And it is about light and dark. That's what it's about. It's not about God going, oh, you weren't good enough, you don't belong. It's about, are you willing to let the light in, by golly, because it's time now. And he will knock on your door 20 times over going, hey, I love you. I'm here for you. Can you hear me? Do you want this? But that's all we can do. We are governed by free will, where darkness manipulates the shit out of your free will. Do you understand the difference now? And that's why God says self-growth. Go within. Take things to a deeper questioning and understanding by going within you. Can you feel your heart? Can you feel your solar plexus? Let me tell you, before my healing yesterday, my solar plexus hurt, my throat hurt, my heart hurt so bad. And I woke up today and all that pain is gone. And it took me a good 3 hours to do so last night, working on myself. And then calling my kids in to help me. My poor kids. Actually, they're awesome. So do you understand? This is what God is calling for right now. Okay. It's easy to get caught up in what other people do, because after people actually watching me reunite Jesus and Mary Magdalene, watching me almost die on my twin flame journey and watching it all play out on my channel, you think those people could still understand what was happening and send love and acceptance and non-judgment? Unfortunately, most of them no. Most people won't even watch the videos. So let's just hypothetically say, let's just hypothetically throw this out there. You have a God who's on earth. They said it was the return of Christ. Okay. And this thing is doing work you've never seen before. Activating pyramids, clearing Mt Shasta, moving poles. I can actually watch this unfold. Right? But I'm going to be like, nah, this bitch is crazy. This isn't happening. Or I'm going to throw judgment at her as if I know what she's doing or going through. Yet, you have other people like Teal Swan going, really, I don't know. I read a book. She literally admits, I read a book and just put it out there. I talk to people, hear what they say, and I put it out there. She can't really do healings on anybody. As a matter of fact, 3333, a lot of people committed suicide under her care. Because she would convince everybody suicide was a reset. Doesn't matter. We return anyways. And that you have the real thing here going, hey, this is what's happening, but I'm doing the work. I'm not telling you about it. And you can watch me awaken through it all. It's crazy. But most people can't even fathom that. So here we have the return of Christ. And even if it happens in front of most people are going to be like, what just happened? Because they're so outside of themselves. They can't see it. They can't feel it. They're not hearing the call. If you're being bombarded by darkness, it's because you need to go within and start healing your shadow. I have healed the collective and individual shadow. I did a course on it. And it has guided meditations to help you heal it. But once you heal it, you have to make sure that you don't allow it back in. You have to undo it in the patterning of the way in which you created it. 3444. In other words, it uses your ego, it uses fear, it uses all these things to break you down. And that's how they got Adam to go against Eve. Taking your vibration down, convincing you other things that are not reality. The false goddess to the true goddess. It's all right there. And this is what God put in my heart today. Okay? This is what we need to understand and recognize today. So I do encourage you to share this channel. I do encourage you to watch my videos, because that is the ascension. And not everybody will get to make it. And I once told God that I know what I'm bringing about and I want everybody to ascend. And they had to remind me it's free will. So I can't force anybody. But the more people I can get to awaken and get to even watch the videos of the pyramid activations or anything, I feel accomplished. It's not about me. I've already accepted that I'm judged and unrecognized and unloved. It's not about me. It's about what I did. It's about what is happening to all of you that you need to know and be aware of. And if my DM and I don't come together, we could both die. Okay? So twin flames are very important. If you are a twin flame and you're not uniting, it's because you need to go in and heal your shadow. You need to focus on self-love and start dating yourself. Once you do that, once you go inward and you're in balance in your heart center and you're healing your masks, you will unite. That's what draws you together. If you're focused outward, going, where is my DM or divine feminine? Why won't they listen to me? And you're being attacked and you don't feel good all the time, there's a reason. It's because you're outside of yourself and you have layers to heal. You have to heal the karmic layer to unite with your twin flame. And people talk about that all the time. And it's very real. So you need to why do I do this? And then stop the patterning. Heal it. Okay? Heal your shadow to ascend. Period. I've talked about this. We got to heal our shadow to ascend. That means you have to be able to see the difference. You have to be able to recognize. You have to be able to heal it within you, because what I did for the ascension, essentially, is I caused this planet to change so much that the darkness cannot stay here. I cleared it out of the earth, layer by layer by layer, over the last 3 to 4 years' time it took me to do it. So what took them centuries upon eons to create took me 3 years to undo. That is who I am. So it's really important that we start realizing the brevity of this, that we start understanding the reality of the world in which we live in. And this is what God is calling. This is what God put on my heart to talk about today. It is requesting self-growth. He's requesting a deeper questioning and understanding, which I gave up on for a moment. But that is that's what got me to where I am today. I didn't let anybody outside sway me. I didn't let anybody convince me my DM didn't love me. I held strong onto that love, and I saved his life. And then in the end, he chose to not stay because he was too far gone. That should be a cautionary tale for everybody for what the ascension is. And we need to grab all of our huevos. So if you're a woman, pick them back up, right? Grab your huevos. Grab your power. Do not let others sway you. Do not let others' judgments convince you otherwise. Follow the truth that is within your heart and make sure you are in balance in a heart-centered nature. Because you guys, something big is coming. A long time ago, they told me we couldn't stop the work that I did. It had already gone too far. There's no stopping it now, right? And then we almost didn't even make it. You guys, there was a time where God literally said to me, I knew you were strong enough, but we were prepared to not make it. Because I almost died. It took strength I didn't know I had. Boy, I didn't know I had that strength. And I just one day chose to look in and just do it. I dug my heels in and I took whatever pain was given to me. I took whatever urges came to me and I just didn't move. And I stayed strong against them, and it took everything I had after I'd already been attacked and attacked and attacked and attacked. And we made it. That's when I cleared and healed the collective and individual shadow. It was not easy for me to do. It was not as simple as me just doing the workshop and clearing it. I had to do the work to clear it to get there. Okay? So if you watch one video, you have to understand it took me a lot of other works to get there. because healing is in layers. So I had to clear it in layers, and I've cleared so much. There is like no time left, and I talk about that. And people are reading into this energy that they can tell this darkness is pissed off, and it's like spewing toxicity everywhere because it's pissed. It's being evicted. And what do some things do when they're backed into a corner? They want to take everything down with them that they can. So it's really important, and that's why God is asking for self-growth, deeper questioning, and understanding at this time. Okay? Because people can really hurt you. Recently, I wanted to die. I actually asked God to end my journey. I did. And to be the one that united Jesus and Mary Magdalene, I should feel very proud of that. But instead, I felt judged, unrecognized, and unloved. But that is something we have to accept. Because you can't ask people to see what they can't see. But you can definitely trust your heart. Because it is a rite of passage. And not everybody gets to go. And it's just about love. It's about self-love and self-growth. And in the beginning of this video, I said, if you want to worship God, then love yourself. That was the best way you can worship God, is to allow in deep levels of self-love. Understanding what self-love is. And not letting anybody sway you from that. So if you want to worship God, self-growth, deeper questioning and understanding, absolute importance of focusing inward for truths, not outwards, where people will fault you and lie to you, and the energy is to deceive you. Okay? Revelations 19:10. Don't be deceptive. Don't be deceived. Do not worship anything except for God. And what does God say? Self-love. Deeper questioning, understanding. He's requesting self-growth. Okay? So please, 4222, like and subscribe, share this video, watch my videos. And I heard somebody tell me I don't have enough time. You know what? Maybe that's the only time you have right now. You know what I'm saying? Does it take time to watch an hour video? Maybe a day? Like, I mean, you can watch pieces of it. Like, what, you know, there's no excuse. And you don't know how much time we have left. So I would take the time to understand this ascension. I would take the time to understand God on a deeper level. I would take the time to understand. And maybe I am the one speaking differently. Maybe there's a reason there, and maybe I would take the time to understand that too. And if I could watch one video all the way through and then gather my own opinions on it. So much love to all of you. I hope you have an amazing day. Whenever you find this video, it is timeless. Please like and subscribe and share it out, because I need people to know what the ascension is. And again, I can't force anybody, but I'm here to help those who want to ascend, because I brought it about. I know what it is. Do you know what it feels like to start losing that light? It's very painful. It's very painful to have darkness in you. It's painful as shit. Why do we want people to hurt? I don't anymore. So I'm doing my part. Are you doing yours? So much love to all of you. This is what God wanted me to talk about today. Okay? I don't need people. It's not like, I'm not like, oh, people feel sorry for me. It's not about that. It's about self-growth and putting out the word of God. So much love to all of you. I hope you have a great day. You're right where you're supposed to be. If you found me, there's a reason. Look deeper. Till next time.